Good morning, everyone. This is Srikant Rajan. Welcome to the Stock Market Podcast from MPIinvest.com, the only platform where you learn to invest and trade in the stock market, plan your financial goals, invest in different financial assets, and grow with a community of knowledgeable investors. If you are not a part of community yet, visit our website MPIinvest.com to join the community free of cost. Coming to the stock market yesterday, we did see the Nifty opening at 15674, and immediately with a small sell off it actually went on for a rise. It went on to rise till 15858, but then there came the big selling. In fact, we could see Nifty crossing the day's low and going down to almost 15659. Finally, the last hour buying actually brought Nifty back up and closed at 15,732. The FIs have continued to sell big and they've sold for 4,500 crores yesterday, and DIIs have bought for 3,800 crores. So with that, like I told you, the DII buying in India has crossed the big size of 2 trillion rupees as of now. So that's something big, and that shows the kind of confidence that DIIs have on the Indian economy. But things are only looking bad right now globally. And in globally, when I say, it is nothing but the US. The US yesterday, if you could see after the Indian markets closed, the US market continued to fall, and Dow Jones and S&P 500 both closed in the negative, though by a short margin, which is about 0.4 and 0.5% compared to the big falls that they've been having in the last few days, which was more than 2 to 3%. So the only good news is that the Nasdaq actually recovered. Yes, in fact, Nasdaq got some power from Oracle, as Oracle went up by almost 10% after they reported an earnings, which actually beat the market estimates. And they say there's a major increase in demand in its infrastructure cloud business, which actually led to this rise. So that was the only reason why we could see Nasdaq actually closing on the slightly greener side, up by 0.4%. In fact, hopefully this is going to give some power to the IT sector in India today. Though they are not really interlinked, it is actually funny that the many investors in India feel that if Nasdaq moves up, IT has to move up in India, and Nasdaq goes down means IT has to go down in India, though they are not really linked. However, if you look at the US market again, there is a lot of concern, as the Federal Reserve meeting minutes are to be coming today. Yes, after Indian markets close, we have the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell coming out with this details of the minutes of the meeting, along with the details of the interest rate hike that they are planning. So as of now, the way the US market have fallen so big in the last 5 days, I think they factored in the rate increase of up to 0.75%, because earlier the plan was 0.5%, but after the inflation going red hot, there is a news that it could actually be about 0.75% hike. So any hike up to 0.75%, I don't think the market should fall further, but probably can recover as they get a feeling that the worst is probably over. But then any hike more than 0.75% can lead to bigger falls, and that's exactly why we should be careful with our positions today. So mostly I would be clearing off my positions before the closing of the day, based on the market condition. So that's something that I would be planning for. So tomorrow can either be a big gap down or a big gap up based on what happens in the US. So that's something that we need to watch out for. So apart from that, if you look at the US market is actually tumbling big time, and the 10-year bond yields have actually popped up more than 30 basis points. In fact, it is right now at 3.48%, which is a high not seen in last 11 years. So that's something not looking great. In fact, the kind of selling that's happening in India by the FIIs is worse than what used to happen during the COVID time. Yes, in March 2020, when the COVID fall was there, even those times the FIIs have not sold so big. So that's the kind of fund that's going out of Indian market, and I am still proud that Indian market is able to hold on. So like I told you, if you look at the kind of fall that happened, 5 days of big fall in the US market, whereas if you look at Indian market, the downside was very much limited comparatively. And in fact, we did kind of stay almost constant yesterday. Even though there was huge volatility, the market is actually closing at similar levels. So I don't see major downside further for Indian market, unless of course if the interest rates goes up more than 75%, sorry 0.75% in the US. So that's something that I'll be keenly watching over. Apart from that, if you look at Asian markets today, of course, most of the Asian markets are in the red as they all prepare to get, brace the interest rate hike in the US. So let's see what happens. Even SGX Nifty is indicating, in fact, SGX Nifty yesterday was at almost 15,600, but I'm glad that it has actually recovered over a period of time. In fact, as I speak to you, even the US futures are kind of slightly up after the US market closed in red. In fact, if you look at Nasdaq futures are already up by 0.75%, S&P 500 is also up by 0.58%, and Dow Jones is also up by 0.46%. So that is kind of giving some confidence in the market. Even the oil prices are around $120 per barrel, so that's also kind of okay because it's kind of in the similar range. It's not gone up very high. But if you look at SGX Nifty, it's indicating a number of almost 15,728, which means we might see a flat opening in Nifty today. However, we could see some positivity in the market in the initial start, but I am expecting a sell-off in the second half. So gold members, do look forward to the trades in the Discord channel. I am sure we would be booking some profits and moving on some trades. So do focus on that. So we will make money wherever the market goes. That's a different thing. But yes, it is one thing that I am very confident about, that this is the best time to actually invest, and there is no better time than to actually invest when there is a bear market, right? So with all that, I am sure we at MPI family will make a lot of profits as days goes by, and we are a very positive community. So before we leave, let me just share you one thing. I am really positive. I in fact went ahead and bought some shares of LIC yesterday at that valuation. In fact, how I was avoiding the LIC IPO, and right now I'm really happy that at this price we are able to get in good stocks like LIC. So that's something I would continue to do on a SIP mode, and I'm sure all of us are doing it together, and we will come out profitable. So before I leave, do press the like button if you love the content that we share, and do share this with your friends to help them learn and invest together with us. This is Srikant signing off. Have a profitable day ahead.